If you believe in Jesus, then you're good because you're not picking different parents. Now, what are you going to do? All right. And that's the same thing with age. There is no time machine. That's our next project. We're working on it. But the gentleman in the back, what was your name, sir? Jay? Yeah. You've noticed it has gotten harder as you've gotten older. By a show of hands, anybody noticed it has gotten harder? Okay. Very common to struggle as you get older. Not normal. Those two terms are not synonymous. We know somebody older than you and they're thinner than you. And there's somebody younger than you that would love to look like you. You better believe it. Dr. Rob, you're older right now than you've ever been in your life. Did you know that?
I am, and I'm older than I was when we actually took off on the airplane today as well.
You are. And I'm older. I've never been as well at 51. So in our 50s, you're still at an incredible healthy weight when you couldn't achieve that as a child. So really age becomes an excuse, and doctors use it all the time. You go see your doctor, and what do they say? You're getting older, or it runs in your family. You're this victim. There's nothing you can do about it, which we know that victims never heal. You cannot heal if you believe things that are not true about yourself. So we're not going to worry about the things that we cannot change. But if you think about it, this is what we've been told. You have to eat perfect, move all the time, have elite genetics, and I guess apparently stay 17 years old the rest of your life. That's the only way you're going to deserve to be at a good weight. And we know it's just not true. So do you want to offer them our free program?
Yeah, you want to know, you were asking what to do, right? Here's how you do that. Okay, here's the free program. Anybody by show of hands want to know how to do that one? Okay, here's what you do. Okay. So we're going to do
we had like 4 hands go up. So everybody else is going to get the one.
Okay. Yeah. So the free program means that, okay, you're just going to starve yourself, okay, for the next 50 weeks. If you want to lose 50 pounds, okay, you can't eat anything. And you're going to actually be walking at least 34 miles a week every single week, okay, and not eating. And you're going to have to pick different parents, okay? We're going to go out. We're going to go on the road and find them and find a time machine, okay? So, yeah, exactly. So obviously we're being funny, but that's what it is that we've been taught. So can you guys see why it is that we have this epidemic in our country? Because those are all the things that we've been taught to do, and they just don't work when it comes to your weight, okay? So if it's not diet, it's not exercise, and it's not genetics, and it's not age, then what is it that ultimately determines our weight?
There you go.
Yeah, it's metabolism, right? It's metabolism. So instead of asking then the question, how do I lose weight? What is the question that we should be asking ourselves? How do I fix my metabolism? Yeah, you said, what's your name? Mary? Yeah, Mary said, how do I fix my metabolism? How do I heal my metabolism? That's what we should be asking. So if we're going to heal our metabolism, we probably have to look at like the organ systems in the body. When we look at how the body works, because everything works together, what is the organ system that we should focus on in order to heal our metabolism? What would be your metabolism organ? So who said pancreas? So pancreas, okay, right? Because you got your, it helps to be able to produce some insulin to be able to control your blood sugar, okay? So hormones, let's just go ahead and throw all the hormones. So let's just say endocrine system, fair? Okay. So hormones, all right. What other things control our metabolism? And you're right. Liver, liver? Okay, yeah, liver, right? Because liver helps to be able to detox. So having too many toxins in the body will also stop and slow down your metabolism. And you said GI tract, okay? So your digestive system, right, is important in controlling your digestion, right? That's a big thing right now. Because you guys know that, have you guys heard of like the GLP-1 drugs, for example, right? Yeah. So that's actually, you guys realize that that's naturally produced in your own GI tract, okay? And it should be. But here's the thing. If you go to your doctor and they tell you to be on one of those drugs, right? You're now treating a symptom. You're not looking at your body holistically. And when is it that your doctor is going to tell you to get off of that drug and or get off of the thyroid medication? Never. So even they know that it's not getting to the cause of the problem. So we got to get to the cause of the problem. Okay.
So I'm going to list here what you said. So you're all right, by the way, but it's not one thing. It's what? It's everything. And this is where conventionally trained doctors miss it every time because they silo organ parts, right? You go to this doctor for this organ and this doctor for this organ. They run this test. They're not looking at your body as a whole. They're looking for a biomarker that's out of balance. They can give you drugs that you take for the rest of your life That's why you got to get a refill because they don't correct the cause of the problem. And so when you look at this is the beauty of what we've done and what we've come up with. We've seen so many people now. We know the patterns that into hormonally with their gut. Obviously, thyroid's involved. You've also got the endocrine system involved, hypothalamus, pituitary. Toxins are a huge thing. If your body's toxic, especially from industrial seed oil, everybody aware of the dangers of industrial seed oil? 680-day half-life. Your metabolism will never work. If you're chock full of seed oil, it stays in your tissue. You got to get rid of it. So obviously, forever chemicals, glyphosate, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. Heck, they're spraying us with chemtrails. I mean, we could keep going on and on. We are poison. And so when you're poisoned and the organs are in stress, you're in big trouble. And then hormones, this is a big one too, because it's not just the sex hormone, because that's what you think about, right? You go to your doctor, they put you on estrogen or testosterone or progesterone. It's the metabolic hormone, insulin, glucagon, leptin, cortisol, adrenaline, adiponectin. If you don't balance your metabolic profile, you cannot fix your sex hormones. So this is where we built a system designed to look at your metabolism for each of you, because each one of you are different. And then once we have that information, we know how to customize your plan.
Yeah, because you also even have things like muscle mass, for example.
Yes.
You've got hydration. And we're not talking about how much water you're drinking.
Who drinks water in here? Everybody good? Who pees all the time? Who has swelling in the ankles and feet? Yeah, so you're not absorbing it. Yeah, so it's not how much water you drink, it's what are you absorbing. We're going to show you how to get hydrated, and it's not more water. It'll actually make you worse.
Yeah, so if we're going to help heal somebody's metabolism, we have to take a look at all of those things. If someone's not looking at all of the systems in your body, because your body literally is 75 trillion cells, and all of the cells inside your body have this mechanism on the inside of it that actually determines how fast your metabolism is going to be. Anybody know what that is? It's called your mitochondria. So your mitochondria, so that's what metabolism means. You guys know that? So meta means transformation, bol is beginning of life, ism is a system. So it's a system that your body uses in order to be able to transform whatever nutrients are coming in to be able to use as usable life, in order to be able to heal and to be able to repair, okay? Or actually replace cells that aren't supposed to be in there, so that the mitochondria can be able to receive the nutrients in order to be able to create ATP. ATP is energy, okay? That makes sense? Okay, so that's really what your metabolism is. So we have to start looking at the body from a cellular level, okay? So when we look at the body at a cellular level, we have to make sure that we're not only looking at the whole entire system, but what we're going to be doing is readjusting your body's metabolic thermostat for the entire system.
I know how thermostat works, right? You set the temperature, doesn't matter what's going on the outside, keeps it nice and cool or warm. All right. Probably here y'all use the heater more than we do in Texas, I'm assuming. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so it doesn't matter what's going on. If your thermostat doesn't get readjusted, the temperature's not going to change, and your body works the exact same way. You have a metabolic thermostat that's controlling where you are. Some of you already know you've got a weight number that when all the dust settles, after all the diet and all the exercise and all the supplements and all the fasting, you go right back to this place, because this is where your metabolism is set from a thermostat perspective. So this is a thermostat scale, 0 obviously being the worst metabolism ever. Can everybody see this? Okay. Yeah. All right, 0, the worst metabolism ever. 10 would be rock star. I'd like to have a rock star metabolism. Only about 3 of you. Okay. All right. Anybody want to guess where you think you are on the thermostat scale metabolic? We got a 2.
-10.
You're not getting a -10. All right.
Yeah, you wouldn't be here if it was
Yeah.
-10.
So that's right.
Exactly.
Okay. So think about this. Very important question. What controls what you weigh? Thank you. I know y'all were like, he's trying to trick me. I know he's trying to trick me. Not. Metabolism. It controls what everybody weighs. If it's healthy, you burn thousands of calories a day. Easy to maintain your weight. Not healthy, doesn't matter what you do, you're going to store calories as body fat. So when we look at this, if you have a metabolic thermostat at a 2 and your metabolism controls what you weigh, how perfect are you going to have to be over here to get any results? It's a nightmare. Yeah, it's like the Greek mythology, like Sisyphus, who had to push the boulder uphill, only to let it fall back down on top of him and do this over and over and over. A lot of you are pushing the boulder uphill, and it's exhausting. You might feel exhausted with this journey. It's just, it can't be this hard. We want to help you roll it down the hill. So this is where, you know, we don't want to work with people that are over here.
And we used to.
We did.
Super frustrating.
Because we would give them diets, we'd give them exercise programs. We built our first organic supplement line back, what was that, 2012? We've been doing this a very long time. And they would lose a little bit of weight because you've done the same thing. You dieted, you've done the supplements, you've tried this stuff. But when they stopped taking the supplements or stopped the diet, what would come back?
Meanwhile, as time goes on, what's happening to your metabolism? Is it going?
Then go back to it too.
Yeah, it's slowing down. It's getting worse.
So we saw this vicious cycle working with clients, and we were like, what the heck is going on here? Because we were trying to get people to lose weight on 2, 3, and 4 thermostats. So we don't do this anymore. Now, there's plenty of people that will work with you on a bad metabolism. They'll give you all the latest gadgets and tricks and supplements and medications and injections. We don't do it. Here's what we do, and this is how fun it can be, and this is what Dr. Carey was talking about, is we're going to take you and move you over here. I could get this marker to right. All right. Let's call that how about a 7? Who would like to have a 7 thermostat? All right.
I like that. Whoever said the 10, yes.
All right.
Yes.
So when we move you up the scale, we're going to move you here, and we're going to reset you by readjusting your metabolic thermostat. That takes 5 weeks to do that. How long?
5 weeks.
Guess we know about 5 weeks. You can do it. You can do anything for 5 weeks, not 6 months, but in 5 weeks you can do it. What's our average weight loss, Dr. Rob, if they need to lose it?
Average weight loss for women is 22+ pounds in only 5 weeks. So you were talking about like a year and a half. Like, you guys ever remember that video? You know, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing. And then for men, it's 30+. Okay. We had so we're from Dallas. For Dallas Cowboy players came in and he lost 75 in 5 weeks. How did he lose 75 pounds in 5 weeks? Well, he also has like so muscle actually is what helps you to burn calories. When your body has a healthy metabolism, so you want to make sure that you keep your.
Yep. So we'll move. It takes us 5 weeks here. We'll get body fat off of you. You're going to become just a nasty fat burner. It's so cool to watch fat come off parts of your body that you've never been able to get rid of. It comes off really powerful. What's that? Yeah. So after 5 weeks, good question. We're going to move you up the scale. Now it's really fun to work with 7. It is not fun working over here because it is a nightmare. We'll get you here, and then we take 3 weeks to reset what we've done and make a permanent brand new change. We're going to get you metabolically flexible. Does anybody know what that means? All right, your body has 2 main sources of energy, carbohydrates and fat. And they're both very important. A lot of you, I say a lot of you, I don't know, but I'm assuming a lot of you have done low carb diets. The keto craze, the carnivore, you cut all your carbs. The problem is you wreck your metabolism when you do this because you need glucose, you need carbohydrates. And so you should, in fact, you come off the diet, you have 1 banana and you gain all the weight back. It's like, are you kidding me? So you should be able to burn carbohydrates for fuel and fat for fuel and go back and forth whenever you need it. That is metabolic flexibility. So now you don't have to count macros or count calories. You're really counting nutrients and focusing on eating nutrient-dense food, not worrying about ever counting a calorie again. So during that 3-week reset phase, we're going to get you metabolically flexible to burn fat, carbohydrates. You've already created insulin sensitivity now. They're going to give you a little tool called a metabolic reboot. And if you ever gain 2 pounds back of the weight loss that you lost, you do this reboot, it'll take you right back to that new weight set point, that new thermostat within 24 to 48 hours. And you can use it for the rest of your life.
Actually works.
Yeah.
You can use it forever.
So if you're keeping track, it's 4 steps. Okay. The first step, okay, number 1 takes 1 day. It's called your reawaken phase. We're going to wake your metabolism up. Okay. How many days? 1. Step 1. Okay. Step 2 is we're going to retrain your body's metabolism at a cellular level for 5 weeks. How many weeks? 5 weeks. Okay. The reason it's 5 weeks is because scientifically, when it comes to the cells, to be able to replace and repair cells, it takes at least 5 weeks for us to be able to do that. Okay. The other thing that we do know about 5 weeks is you can do anything for 5 weeks. Okay. It's only
Especially if
5
you're
weeks.
getting
Okay.
the kind of results we're talking about. You know, if you lose 5 to 10 pounds your first week, would anybody be excited about that?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, heck yeah, I can do this. You could definitely be committed.
Yeah.
And then the 3 week, yeah, that's the reset phase, the 3 weeks on the back end of it.
That's 3. And then 4 is the metabolic reboot that you can use for the rest of your life. Make sense? Okay.
And then if you want to lose more than 20 or 30 pounds, we'll help you do it. We're just not going to help you do it over here because it's not going to work. But a 7, oh yeah, that's fun. And it's a lot easier to lose more weight when you started healing your metabolism. We've detoxed you from seed oil. You've got a higher metabolic rate. Your body's stronger, less glyphosate in your tissue. Your body's going to start to respond beautifully. So, but first step is we got to build a foundation. Who's ever built a home on a bad foundation? It's cost you a lot of time and a lot of money. All right, so you don't want to build your metabolic foundation on sand either. You want a rock foundation. We'll lay your metabolic foundation, give us those 2 months, and then from there we can talk about what your next goal is or if you want to lose more weight. But step 1 is lay the foundation, get your body healing, get the results that Dr. Kerr is talking about. Because if you don't do that, now you just keep stacking more programs and supplements on top of a metabolic foundation that's just not stable. All right, that was our timer, by the way.
Okay.
I think
So
we finished right on time.
yeah, so so we have a technology that we use to be able to answer the how question. We'll go through what that looks like. So the acronym is THIN. What's the acronym? Everybody looks at the person on your right and say, "You are thin."
You are.
Okay, look at the other person that you like better and say, "You are thin." Okay, cool. So THIN. THIN stands for this. The T is testing or technology. Okay, so we test, we don't guess. Okay, everybody's body is unique and different. So if everybody's body is unique and different, you need a customized approach to be able to heal your metabolism. Would you agree? Okay. So we've got an assessment that we use to be able to test, to be able to see exactly what your body needs in order to be able to heal whose metabolism? Your metabolism. You're exactly right. Okay. And the next thing that we want to do is, as we're going through this technology, there's a method to our madness that we've been working on this now for 15 years. We're going to be balancing your hormones. Okay. Impossible to be able to heal your metabolism without balancing your hormones. And so how do we do that? We use that. We do that based on the technology that we have and the system that we use. So it's like literally taking, it's kind of like if you were going to be baking a cake using grandma's recipe. And so if you like miss one of the ingredients or you don't put it in there right, it messes up the whole entire thing. So it's basically taking all of these things that we've been studying for the last 15 years, putting them together perfectly for you. And that's how we get the perfect hormone balance for you. And we figured that out through that assessment. Of
And the hormones he's talking about are the metabolic hormones, right? You have to balance those first. The sex hormones will take care of themselves, but if you don't balance the metabolic hormones, remember insulin, glucagon, leptin, you got to get insulin sensitive. So that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Talking about blood tests?
No,
No,
Oh,
no,
we don't like blood. Yeah.
No, it's we use functional medicine assessments to be able to do that. And then internal cleansing, what that means, we've got to make sure that we're detoxing the cells inside your body. Okay. We don't detox the cells in your body. We can't get the right nutrients inside the cell to be able to make sure that we're healing that mitochondria, which brings us to the last one being our new Q technology. What that means is we want to make sure that you're getting the right nutrient dense food that's right for whose body? Your body. Okay. So once we do the assessment, it's going to give us a list of foods. Okay. They're going to be specific to who? To you. Exactly. Which means that you could be like a husband and wife, for example, and it might say like beef is metabolically healing for your body and chicken is metabolically healing for his body. But you eat chicken and it could actually stop or slow down your body's metabolism. And then the opposite for the other. That's why if you're like me and I was like eating grilled chicken and broccoli, what I didn't realize is the broccoli was stopping my body's metabolism. The chicken was stopping my body's metabolism and I had no idea because we didn't have any way to test that back then. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you may be doing the right thing, but it's stopping your metabolism.
Yeah. So you're going to be eating real food. We have an acronym called SURF, not SURF, right? FERF. Simply eat real food.
So you'll be eating real food, proteins, vegetables, and fruits based off your list, based off the assessment. We'll tell you when to eat them, how to prepare them, the right sequencing to make sure that we get the right amino acid sequencing for your body's metabolism. You don't have to think about anything. All you have to do is follow the list. Can everybody, by a show of hands, eat real food for 5 weeks? Yeah. If you can't eat real food for 5 weeks, you would be a horrible candidate for our program because you cannot heal your metabolism unless it's using real food. It's no protein bars, no protein shakes, not that there's not value in some of that, not a bunch of supplements, not that there's not value in that either. But we've got everything synced up together with the right foods, the right products to work with your body to get the metabolic change. And so you just got to trust the process, trust the system. You'll also be sci-fiing for your food. So these foods you're eating, they're single ingredient food items. So who's ever looked at boxed and canned food and looked at all the ingredients? That is not sci-fi. That is God knows what's in there.
Yeah.
Eggs have how many ingredients? You got one. How many does beef have? Carrots. Sci-fi, single ingredient food items. Surf, simply eat real food for 5 weeks. Zero compromise. You eat the food the way we tell you to do.
So you guys are thinking, okay, you've got a metabolism issue. Wash your hands. Okay. Everybody do this right here. Everybody take this sheet out right here. Okay. Have you guys looked at what your scores are? Okay. All right. So when you look at this right here, just shout out like what your score was and or what box you ended up in when you actually did this across it right here. Okay, 8 on your metabolism score. Okay, what box did you fall into over here? If you looked at your BMI with that. Yeah, the at-risk zone. Okay, so anything outside of this one right here, which is the green that says the thriving one right there, okay, means that there's a metabolic issue going on. Okay, in other words, what that means is you need to do something to heal it. Does that make sense? Okay, is everybody in agreement that you know that you don't necessarily need to take a long look at this to understand that you do have a metabolism issue going on now, right? Everybody understand that? Okay, cool. So with that being said, do you guys want to know how to be able to, I guess, work with us, or what our program is, what's involved with the program? You guys good with that? Is that okay if we share that with you? Okay, cool. Yes.
How you actually test each person to know what they should be having and not having, like, how do you do it? You're not doing blood work, but when you go into that, or you have to.
We'll go a little bit, we can go a little bit more into that in just a minute.
Imagine.
We have, after the last 15 years of working with 10,000 people,
Yeah.
a long list of questions that you have to answer.
Yeah.
Functional medicine.
Functional medicine assessment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's patterns of metabolic disruption we've identified with working with that many people. So now the questionnaire, the functional assessment will put you into that category. And now we know how to attack your metabolism. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll say questions for just a few minutes. So yeah, and we'll make sure that we get those questions. But yeah, so for now, so just know that we don't work with everyone. Okay. We want to work with everyone who needs to be able to get help, but we have some qualifications in order to be able to make sure that we get the best results, because we have a guarantee on our program. Okay. You guys know that no company actually guarantees weight loss. Okay. Our guarantee is that within the first 5 weeks of you being in that retrain phase, as long as you have 15 pounds to lose, that you'll lose a minimum of 15 pounds. Okay. Now, we said earlier that our average is 22 plus for women and 30 plus for men. And why would the average only be 15? Okay. The reason for that is because there is a 3-letter organization out there called the FTC. What they say is that whenever you market any weight loss program, no matter who it is that you are, you can only advertise a max of 3 pounds per week. 3 times 5 weeks is 15.
That was quick math there, Dr. Rob.
There, you like that? Yeah, I'm impressed. I'm terrible at that. So 3 times 5 is 15. That's their number. It's not our number. Okay. So for us, we're like upset if you're not actually getting more than that, assuming that you've got more weight to lose.
And just remember though, with the guarantee, we stand behind this without exception, If you follow the system, you're going to get the result. But the thing is, we're not trying to get you to lose weight. We want to heal your metabolism. And weight loss will be a nice perk to the package. And you're going to lose a lot of weight, but we've got to heal the metabolism. That's the focus, which is why we need you to follow the system. Because if you cheat and do a version of the system, you might lose some weight, but it is all going to come back, and it will not come back. In fact, what is our policy on getting the weight back?
You're not allowed to.
We've done this a long time. Do something back. Nothing's 100%. But if you follow our system and you really reset everything like we're going to teach you, you will keep it off. And I know y'all are early into that part, but it happens. I'm sure your friend that turned you on to the program is probably still keeping it off, because it's really easy to keep it off once you heal the metabolism versus trying to lose the weight. You don't want to lose weight to get healthy. You want to get healthy to lose weight. So stop asking, how do I lose weight? How do I heal my metabolism? That's a completely different ballgame.
Yeah, so let's talk about the qualifications. The first qualification is you've got to be willing to simply eat real food. And what real food are we talking about? These are foods that are going to be on your list, and they have to come from your list. Okay. And you can buy them at any grocery store. So you don't have to shop at like Natural Grocers or Whole Foods or any of those things. You just have to make sure that you're eating foods from your list, and you can't get cute with it. Okay. Let's say for an example, let's say on your food list, it said like Branzino on your food list, but you said, hey, you know what? Fish is fish. I'm not going to eat Branzino today. I'm going to get salmon instead. Well, is that actually following the foods from your list? No, and it's not going to work. So that's you doing your version of it. Okay.
Yeah, we guarantee our version.
Yeah.
That's your version.
Yeah. Your version hasn't been working, which is very okay. Right.
And here's how you can also identify real food. If you set food on the counter and walk away for 2 weeks and come back, if it looks the same, it's not food. It should deteriorate, it should mold, it should spoil. In fact, we've got a McDonald's French fries and a cheeseburger in our office back in Dallas, and it's like 8 years old. No stink, no mold, hard like plastic. It's not real.
Not real food. So the second one is you have to have at least 75 pounds of muscle, which in a room like this and looking at everybody here, there's not anybody here that has less than 75 pounds of muscle. And the reason that you need to have that is because we know that muscle burns what? It burns, well, we want it to burn fat. Muscle burns calories, okay? And that's what he was talking about when it comes to the metabolic flexibility. See, y'all's bodies right now are really good at burning sugar for fuel, okay? You guys are sugar burners. We need to turn you into fat burners that know how, and the difference between when you're supposed to be burning sugar or carbohydrates and when you should be burning fat. And that's what our system helps you to do.
Yeah, so on the 75 pounds too, like, would everybody be a good candidate for our program? Well, no, because if somebody was, wasted away, an elderly and had no muscle, that would not be a good candidate for our program, right? You got to have enough muscle to support the metabolic change. This room is clearly going to be fine.
Yeah. And the last qualification, number 3 right there, is you have to be a 10 level of commitment when you guys filled out your intake form. Okay. Why a 10 level of commitment? Because if you answered, let's say, and we've had people that have done this before, but if they answer like 5, 6, 7, or 8, what are they automatically giving themselves permission to do? Cheat. Exactly. And because the program is unforgiving when it comes to swaying away and doing a version, you're not going to be able to get the results, and we can't be able to guarantee that. Now, with that being said, most of the time when people answer less than a 10, it's because they have questions and they didn't know what we were going to tell them that they were going to need to do. Okay. So with that being said, exercise is not required, by the way, to do this program. Okay. In fact, if you are working out intensely, it can actually slow and stop your body's metabolism. That's why we recommend that as you're doing the program, not exercising at a pace to where you couldn't actually have a conversation with somebody else as you're doing it.
And we have a whole coaching team as well that can help guide you and customize things based off your metabolic needs. Yeah, you don't have an exercise problem, right? You got a metabolism problem. So for 5 weeks, just play by the rules. Exercise is not going to make any difference at all. And it may hurt it actually. So very, very simple there.
Yeah.
Exercise is great, just not your problem.
So if it was less than 10, you can change it.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing too. It's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
totally.
It's kind of like if you and really the question though, if I can, the question really has nothing to do with Rob or I. It's about your desire to do what it's going to take to lose the weight. Are you really ready to do something? And that's only a question you can ask yourself, right? We can't want it for you. Dr. Carey can't want it for you. She's put this amazing event here together and got us here to come do this. But really, the 10 is all about you It has nothing to do with us, Dr. Care, or our program. If you really are committed, this 10 will give you the results. 9s just don't do very well. Just a little bit of a
Cool. Yep. Can you just give me that sheet right behind you? Okay. Okay. So just so that you guys know, so here's what, when somebody does the program, here's what you get, okay? And so because everybody likes to see, okay, what are all the things that I'm gonna get for it? Okay, it's all inclusive. With our program, we don't nickel and dime anybody for anything. We give you everything at the very beginning so that you have all the tools you need in order to be able to go through this 8-week system, okay? So you'll get, the first thing is a metabolic disruptor type assessment. So once you start the program, we get all your information, then you're gonna get an email. That email is gonna give you a link to the assessment. You fill that assessment out. Based on the results that we get from that assessment, our team goes to work immediately, then putting your kit together, and then they send that out to you, okay? So sometimes people are like, when can I hurry up and get started? You can get started as soon as we get that information and as soon as you fill that assessment out, okay? So it happens quickly. The second thing is you're gonna get a personalized real food sequencing plan. So based on the assessment and the customization, we're gonna send you then a list of all the foods that are gonna be specific for you. It's like he was saying, proteins, fruits, vegetables. Then you can go to the grocery store, just take your list with you and do your shopping there, okay? You get the Happy Healthy Thin Success Manual. So the manual is made, we've revised this manual for the last 15 years, probably 300 different times. To be able to make it as simple and as dummy proof as possible. If I can do it, anybody can, but it also helps when you write it down. We know that when you write something down, it helps you to be able to, your success goes up over 80% just by writing it down and being able to see it, okay? So that's why we do it, and in that manual, it has affirmations in there as well that you can be able to read on a daily basis, because sometimes we can be our own worst health advocates, okay? So we want to make sure that you're being the best one possible. You also get our entire system. So we give you the entire technology. One of the favorite things that we have is our secure online membership training portal, which means that you can be able to go into this portal at any time of the day to be able to go in there and get resources. The resources that we've had now for the last 15 years are all in there. There's not a question that you could ever have that we haven't already heard and we haven't already answered.
It is truly extensive. That you wonder about each product and where it comes from and how it's made and how it works in your body. Like it's literally all answered via video and or read it, like something you can read about. It's awesome.
Yeah, and even live. So you actually get coaching support calls. So we have 3 what we call office hours every single week. You get an office hours. Some people ask, well, how much time and interaction do we get with you guys? Well, you guys get us every single week. So it's literally Dr. Rainey and myself probably get tired of us. And we're going in there, we're answering any questions that you have. Typically, whenever Dr. Randy and I are in there, we don't ever have any questions because our coaches, Coach Laura and Coach Christine, have already answered all the questions, okay? They are amazing. So they do 2 hours of office hours every week as well. And they do this live, and they'll answer questions that you have through email as well. So our support team is unbelievable. And then one of the best parts is our community. Okay, you guys were like, that's one of the reasons why we were in Sardinia, Italy, because we were there to study the centenarians blue zone. And what we saw that was the common thread in this blue zone and why they were so healthy was their community. Being around people who are supporting each other, who are thinking the same way. So you're in there with a community of people that are there to lift you up, support you, and help answer questions. So we call that our 3 levels of support. We have people that just started a program a couple of weeks ago. So they're going through exactly what it is that you're going through right now and can answer any questions like, hey, where do you buy this? Or where do you buy that? Where's the best place on Amazon to get this? Or where's the best place to get this? So they're already there, right where you're at to be able to help you. And how many of you guys, like to know that there's somebody who can be able to help you get to where you want to go, who's already been where you're at? Yeah, exactly. And that's what our community helps to do. And then we have people like our alumni.
Yeah, we've got great alumni. The alumni are just people who've gone through the program, have done great, and they're in there helping support you as well, because like you just said, they know what you're going through. They've already been there. They're going to show you the way. And we've got our coaching team in there, Dr. Rob and myself, And all the live office hours are all recorded too and go into that private dashboard community. So you've got access to everybody. It's so cool that we actually have Coach Laura here who drove all the way over from Indiana to come be a part of the experience.
She's my coach, I love her so much.
Laura's the best. Yeah, so there's just so much support you get. It's exciting to know that you're not doing it alone, that it can be done and it's not hard, and the results really keep you super inspired and motivated. Plus, I like to call our community, it's really not a group of people who accept you, because y'all probably got enough people in your life who accept you. The problem with people who accept you, they'll let you cut corners. They'll let you make excuses. You need people who believe in you, because they'll hold you accountable and won't let you keep telling those same lies you keep telling yourself that has you stuck. So our community really is a group of believers who really, really love each other and support each other. So
Yep, and then you also have like online programs, of course. So if anybody here is like weird about like, okay, it's a lot of online stuff and I'm not good with computers. Our tech team is unbelievable, okay? So Rochelle is the one that leads that. She's always there to be able to help you reset your passwords or whatever it is that you need. She can be able to help you navigate through that. All of our coaches can. And then the last one on here also is that when you are in our system with our programs, you automatically also get 20% off many products that we have.
actually up to 35%.
Yeah, exactly. So, we have retreats, people who want to have like more like hands-on experiences as well. So we typically do one retreat per year where members of our community will also come with that or come to these retreats. Last year in September, we were in Tulum, Mexico. The year before that, we were in Ischia, Italy. So that's always a good time as well for people that want to come. So that's what you get when you come on board as far as your programs. Cool. Yeah. Yes.
So you just mentioned now product, but you said serve the program, the general, after our test.
Yeah.
Tell yourself what to eat, what foods are on our list, you don't eat. And so some of the have elements, we don't have some. So where do your other products come into play?
Yeah.
In regards to resetting your metabolism.
Great question. So we don't have just a lot of products because we want to make sure that you're getting as much real food nutrition as possible. Okay. So, but there are supplements that you are going to need. So once we do the customization, we actually customize specific supplements for you.
How do you,
So
how do you really, I mean, I really.
Just based off remember the assessment that you take?
Carrie, so you
Yeah.
also test these products to make sure they're all, that will always work.
It's all, I mean, like, it's like trace minerals, right? So it's like
Yeah.
literally healing your ability to hydrate your cells.
Yeah,
So
all
like
the
that
products, yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
needs, right? It's whole food, like stuff that everybody needs for whole body health as you're getting healthy. So when I did it, I didn't supplement myself outside of anything that they gave, which is really simple and basic. There were like 2 or 3 things maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of moving parts. You don't need it. We've made it very simple, but the products do support nutrient absorption, helping with detoxification. And they're products that we made for the program. 2 of the products you get in the program, we don't even sell those off our e-commerce site because they're only for the program. We do have other metabolic products that we make. In fact, Dr. Carrie is going to be, we're so excited. She's going to be a wholesale carrier of our products. Some of those here in the clinic, so y'all get access to those. But yeah, the products are more after program. The few that we have are going to work directly with you to get the best result in a very short amount of time.
There are some supplements that are taken during.
Yes.
you got it. Yep, and they're included as well.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, so that's it right there. So the next question probably you guys may have is, okay, what's the cost? There you guys have that question right there. Okay. So everything that we just went through right now, I'm gonna write it up here. Everything that we just outlined, the retail value on that is $4,697. Okay. Now, we were a clinical operation all the way up until 2023, where we were seeing people in our office. And that's what it is that we were charging for this program. And then something happened back in 2020 that caused us to have to shift a little bit and people couldn't come in as much, called COVID. So that's where we really figured out how to be able to help more people. And so we said, all right, how do we be able to bring this online so that we can be able to help anybody in the world? By doing that, the benefit was we didn't need as many moving parts and we didn't need as many staff and employees to be able to do that. So we were able to reduce the price on it. So you guys get the benefit. Okay. So because of that, it's not $46.97. It actually is $26.97. So if you guys went onto our website right now, you would see the price is $26.97, okay? Now, because we're here and Dr. Carey invited us to be here, we wanted to make sure that we gave a gift, right? So that we gave a gift for everybody who is here, okay? So for anybody who's here tonight, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give an additional $700 off. Is that cool with you guys? Okay, so instead of the $26.97, it brings it to $19.97, okay? And you get everything, okay? So we don't reduce the quality of what it is you're getting even one bit for that 26 or for that 1997 right there, okay?
Do we have to decide that tonight?
So I'm gonna go over that with you, okay? So the way that works is, so we said, okay, for at least 10 people, we could be able to do that. And the other thing that we want to do is we have another gift to be able to give as well. We have a metabolism support kit that can be able to help to get the best results possible. You don't need them to do the program. However, it's just a support. The products you can also use after the program as well. So we want to give those to you guys as well as a gift. So that's another additional $400 worth of products that we're going to send to you with that metabolism support kit. So anybody who would start tonight, with the way that would work is you would fill this piece of paper out right here on the back, and Laura's going to pass this out in just a second, but on the back, it's going to have your name. It's going to have like your credit card information. You'll circle how it is that you want to pay for it. If you want to pay and do a one-time payment, it's a $19.97. If you want to make payments, you can make payments. You just don't save the full $700. And that comes out to $23.97 instead of the $19.97, but that allows you to be able to make 4 monthly payments. You would just circle that. So circle whichever one you're going to do, and then make sure that we have your correct mailing address on here because we're going to ship your products to you, okay? So if your mailing address isn't correct, we can't get you the products. We also got to make sure that we've got your phone number and your email address on there as well, because we're going to be emailing you that assessment so that we can be able to start making your kits and make sure it's customized to you. Does that make sense? Okay.
And folks on Zoom, if they're interested, we'll hang, Daryl will hang and get whatever info that we need and make sure
Okay.
that that's able to happen.
Perfect. Awesome.
So even if you're on Zoom,
They asked if it could be sent to email to them.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
so we can scan and email it even.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be
Okay.
perfect.
Okay.
Then, so Laura,
Nipples on it.
so if somebody has that question, like, what about, do I need to do it tonight? Or what if I want to wait? So we're doing this for the first 10 people. So we said, okay, the room this big, we'll do that for at least 10 people, be able to get that discount by knowing tonight, just to reward you for taking action on your health this evening. At the $26.97, that's a great price as well for people who do want to wait. However, Laura, how did you find out about us, and what were the questions that you had for you when you first heard us talk about the program? Let us know a little bit about like what you went through.
Yeah, so I met these guys online.
Yeah,
They didn't know who I was, but I did one of their online challenges, and I've been working in some aspect of health and fitness for the last 20 years, was taught certain things, always open to learning, which is why I wanted to hear what they had to say. And I threw supplements at all my problems, whatever I had. I really didn't want to spend the money. I was like, you know what? Like, I have all the tools that I need, and I love these guys, and I think what they're saying and what they're doing is awesome. But yeah, it's not for me. So 18 months later, everything was working really well for me until it wasn't, right? Kind of went through the menopause thing, carrying around an extra 20 pounds, all the same stuff that I knew how to do at one point in time, or thought I knew, just wasn't working. None of them, my body didn't make sense. The math didn't make sense. And lo and behold, this was very much a God thing, but Randy reached out to me because 18 months ago, we kind of talked about possibly joining the staff. And I didn't do the program, right? But we started having this conversation again, right? So it kind of brought the program back to the spotlight. And I realized that, gosh, maybe now I need this program. So fast forward, I did the program kind of as I was coming aboard with the company, and I dropped 20 pounds, those 20 extra pounds in 5 weeks. I have never had an easier time maintaining my weight loss. I have never felt better. It's been a phenomenal experience and I had to unlearn a lot of things. And relearn not only for myself, but how to be the best coach possible for you all. And it's just been an incredible journey. And I will say, in all honesty, that I should have done the program 18 months ago, because I would have spent a whole lot more in supplements that weren't working for me than this program cost.
Oh, yeah, you were doing, you was buying, it's so. good,
Greens
right?
every morning
Just
and like,
all the
yeah,
vitamins, it's-
shakes
yeah.
and bars and like all these things I thought were healthy for me that just weren't bioavailable, and it's
They're
really.
fine, they just don't
Yeah.
fix your metabolism. So, yeah, so if anybody was wanting to wait, usually they think they're saving money, but they're actually not
Yeah.
saving
You have
money.
to think about all the things you're doing wrong, how much is that costing you, and how much is ill health going to cost you in the end. So it's a no-brainer, and I should have done it a long time ago, but you have to come to these things. But if I can tell you, if you're on the fence, just do it. These guys will tell you, like,
Yeah.
it's an incredible experience. Yeah.
Yep, you're an amazing
You
coach.
need- I mean, you need to feel your yes. I'm really, you know, you guys all know that, like, I'm big on like, if you do not have a yes, it's gotta be a hell yes, because there is no cheating, and it really does work. And it's amazing, and there were moments, it was a really important lesson, because Daryl really, there was a moment of struggle for him. And we had different metabolic disruptors, and so we had some different food and some overlap, so we did a little bit of different cooking. But for the most part, we were able to make it work, and I really felt for him. I don't think I would have like, you know, because he was at a standstill, and then he actually put on weight and put on weight. And we worked with the coaches, and then we worked with the docs, and they were like, you know what? We have to pump the brakes, because remember, this isn't a weight loss program. It's a healing program. His body is trying to catch up. It's healing. And guess what? The next week he dropped those 5 pounds and then an additional, and he's 33 pounds down. So like, he didn't really struggle to drop the weight, but there was that momentary, like, oh my God, you know, it feels like the end of the world when like, oh, you know, awake it went, because like every day I'm like down an extra pound, I'm down, I'm like, yay, you know, like that's motivation. Right. But it was a great reminder that like, this is to get healthy. Right. And, it was a big deal for us to, we were like, oh, right, stuff. Yeah. Right. Cause you can lose yourself in it as well. It was really a powerful experience. I mean, it's why I'm bringing it to all of you.
So why are you doing it again?
Because I for sure have another metabolic disruptor to heal for sure. And I absolutely have, I was 50 pounds overweight. I'm still 25 pounds. I really am. I carry my weight so proportionally. It's oftentimes hard for people to see. I feel it and I know it. So I really want to get my body to a place that is truly vibrant and healthy, thriving. Yeah.
So, yeah, so Laura's gonna pass those sheets out. So she's gonna pass the sheets. If you are the person, like she said, is the hell yes, then just fill that out and then hand it back to Laura. So that way she can be able to make sure that she gets it to our team. They know to get started on all your things. And as you guys are doing that and filling those out, getting those over to Laura, then we'll just hang out here and answer questions. Is that fair enough? Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So, let's say I lose 20 pounds. And it's the end of the 8 weeks, but I really look at 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So what is that? I mean, so you continue working for another 8 weeks?
Here's what that means. Let's get you the win for the first round of the program. Start there, okay? Work with the coaches so they can be able to assess where you're at when you finish your retrained portion of the program, which is the first 5 weeks. They'll see where you're at, take you through the reset. After that reset, if they're like, hey, you know what, it does look like you should do another round of the program to be able to lose more weight, and you need to redo the assessment. Let's see if maybe you're a different metabolic disruptor type as well that needs to be cleared out. Then let's go ahead and do that. If we do that, it's not 1997, just so you know. So when you're already a member in the program, doing a second round would be 997. Okay, so it's about half is what the first round would be if you're thinking that, hey, you might need a second round. Your body may be doing so well that you don't. that your body just continue to go, but we just need to assess to be able to see where you're at that time, because everybody's body is. So it's not like, yeah, you're absolutely gonna need 2 rounds or 3 rounds, we just don't know.
You can't lose 50 until you lose 25, right?
Yeah, exactly, and you'd be like, even the 25 in the 5 weeks, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that even. Maybe you want to handle that question, you're the science geek.
Oh, no, we're not, we can't fund scientific research. What we do is scientific, and the research has already been done. We've never paid to have studies done scientifically about our specific program.
And what would this be?
Yeah, they're all out there, and there's plenty of information to look up and about metabolism and the things that we do. Yeah, just go to our sites, we've got all that stuff, dashboard, it's all in there.
Because the problem that I'm struggling with right now is you have a lot of anecdotal evidence, which is great, right? And you say you have 10,000 people, but the question is where is science and where is the data?
Yeah, if you look at like the ingredients of different things that we use,
Yeah,
yeah, there's scientific research that there's thousands of papers on all of those different things.
Yeah, but science doesn't cut it, because what is science? It's falsifying claims.
but you,
Yeah.
you say you're cutting edge science, right? And so the question is what is the foundational theory on which you are basing practice?
Yes, many
Medical
different
theories, right?
It's,
Medical.
no, we don't use any medical theories because the philosophy with medicine is to treat a symptom. Not
Something
Yes.
that you are basing for.
all of the ingredients, the
Technology.
national ingredients and all those things, there's a lot of scientific data that you can go look at all of them.
Yeah, it's fast. Tons of it. Here's, we just took it and put it together into a system to get a guaranteed result. And the smartest doctor in the world can't guarantee weight loss. They can have all the scientific papers they want. We do, and we've been doing it. So who here's got a science-based doctor that you go to? If they were gonna fix your metabolism, they would have already done it. They don't have any training. Just not what they do.
Yeah, in the back, the very back, Jay.
Wondering, so you get us the list of all the food. Then we look at the food and say, I don't need.
That's a great question. Okay. Okay.
I'm that guy.
You are that guy.
You're my favorite guy. You're actually my favorite guy. When you look at it, the list is gonna be a lot more expansive than you think. Okay, we're not saying, hey, just eat these 6 twigs and berries, for example. It's not like that at all. There are a lot. Okay, now we have had people come in that are like just insanely like picky eaters, and they'll be like, I remember having a consult with somebody, they're like, you don't understand, Dr. Rob. I'm such a picky eater. I'm like, yeah, and you've been picking all the wrong foods. That's why you're here. But I'll say this, Jay, just in jest, is that it's only 5 weeks. And we'll coach you through that. And our coaches are super good with being able to say, hey, if you don't like to eat this, then eat this. So there's a method to it to where you might eat a lot of the same foods during that. Yeah. Yeah, then that's probably like you. I'm a lot like that as well. So that's
I've been coaching for 8 months. I've never had this issue with any client.
There you
saying that, oh, I can't eat anything on here. There's
Yeah.
so many choices. Just never.
And you can kind of dial it into the ones you really like the most and just rotate those in. Just don't make it complicated. It's just 5 weeks. You know, and it goes by so quick. Yeah.
So it seems like we go on this program. You know, many of us in here are clients.
Yeah.
Of the op.
Yeah.
Lots of supplements and other things. It seems like that's all gonna go away. Will that ever come back? Of course, you feel so you don't need it.
And Dr. Carey can advise you on what to do. That's one of the advantages y'all have here working with her.
Yeah.
And she knows the program.
Why?
But she will know, yeah, she'll know. Yeah, so some supplements can't be taken during the program, some can. So our coaching team will advise you. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we'll need to know. So we can make sure that everything works perfectly for you. Yeah, good question.
In the green? No, we can't tell you to get off any kind of medication anyway, because we didn't prescribe it to you. And so,
Some medications can play a role. I didn't hear which medications you said, but yeah, but a lot of times our clients are able to reduce medications, work with their doctor as we're healing their body and reducing inflammation. Some medications do. I mean, most medications can have a weight gain component to it, but you still do great. You think about the people we work with that are, you know, maybe overweight, chronically sick, struggling with problems. Most of them are on medication. So it won't disqualify you at all. If you're actively going through chemo, then no. If you're on antidepressants, antipsychotics, and sleeping pills, no. So everything is unique and different. So yeah, so you'd be fine. Yeah, absolutely. Good questions.
So I'm in the chronic box.
Okay.
That's how bad it is. I'm only on HRT and thyroid. It's for Hashimoto's. I heard what you said about the metabolic hormones. That's what you're going after, and the others will follow.
Yeah.
What does that mean to me? Is it possible that I'm not on HRT after we reset the metabolism? I mean, that's really expensive, and that helps me get, you know, like, oh, well, it's trading, you know, this for that. So is that, I know you can't promise anything, but is that,
Seen it.
it's a possible.
Absolutely.
I wasn't on them, but I was headed for pellets to solve my
I did
issues. And
pellets.
I decided to do the program and I don't have the issues in. So
Wait, I have a question. So tied to what you were just asking, so somebody that's on hormone replacement therapy because they've gone through menopause.
Yep.
How does your body start producing hormones again if you've gone through menopause?
Well, you still make hormones when you go through
Right.
menopause.
Okay,
They don't stop being made.
got it.
This makes less. for
So
most
yeah,
of us.
yeah.
yeah, so what we're doing also is with the environment of the body, because, you know, whether it's menopause or anything else, the body still is having to adapt to the environment. So what we're doing is we're creating a better environment that's more adaptable to everything else that's going on.
Menopause isn't a disease, right?
Right, it's just.
There's just a change that happens, but
You know,
like we talked about earlier, we know people who've gone through menopause and do fine, and we have people who go through it and don't do as good. It's not because of their age or they went through menopause. There's other metabolic factors involved. So we'd be very optimistic you could see a lot of changes. So it'd be good to see those changes. Get yourself metabolically healthy. We've seen a lot of things change. So good question.
We've had women who go through menopause and the next thing you know, their cycle comes back. They're like, yeah, we're
No.
I'm like, there's so many stuff, yeah, when you're, yeah, exactly. It's called. Yeah, was somebody over here in the black, you had.
Yeah.
Right now in the community that are in there together, it's probably somewhere between like 150 and 200.
It usually stays around that level, and then some people go into our upper membership programs, but base foundation, usually about 150 people are going through, not including ambassadors that are there to support you.
Yeah, we've got an upper level program that's called Happy Healthy from Sleep. That program is something that people choose to like.
Yes.
They want to up level whatever it is that they're doing. That's working with Dr. Rating and myself, one. That one's 22,000. So we've got to start somewhere before we work our way up. In the very back.
How hungry are you on this?
Okay,
Good question.
I love that question because, okay, so your body it'll utilize sugar, carbohydrates for fuel and or fat, right? Okay, so we talked about in order to be able to burn 1 pound of body fat is 3,500 calories. So every pound of body fat carries with it 3,500 calories that can be used for energy. So if you think about it, if you've got 100 pounds of body fat on you, That's 350,000 extra calories that your body has. Exactly. And so we're tapping into that and teaching your body how to utilize those calories. So it's because of that, your body's not. And when somebody's going through the program, if you're hungry, it's because something wasn't done correctly. And that's why our coaches can be able to work with you to go, okay, what did you do on this day? They'll take a look at your manual, they'll work with you to be able to figure out what that is. But to answer your question now.
Yeah, no hunger. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you'll burn some days up to 6, 7, 8,000 calories of your body fat a day, which you'll see, 2 pounds come off the scale. There you go. It's pretty.
I'm like, how did that happen? I would even be like, go to sleep at night and next day wake up 4 pounds down. I'm like, where did it go?
I thought I heard you mention at one point, it's not the food, but the meal. Like, I thought like some people might have to pray during the course of the day to move along, and some people. That's a concern of mine just in general, so I was wondering, you can check and see what it is, but do different people have different ways in which you instruct them to do the plan properly that you need to eat like 3 times a day or 2 times a day or 5 times a day?
Depends on what your, what we see on your assessment, your coaches will work with you to go with that.
Whatever the disruption pattern is will indicate that. So.
And then like Carrie, since she's going on again, there's other people, phase 1, you lost 25, and again, it's not about the weight loss, right? It's about healing the metabolism. So what happens during the process that it interrupter doesn't show up now, but it shows up later? If it, because I'm comparing it to like an allergy test. If I'm allergic to something, I'm generally allergic to it, and it'll show up as weakness or whatever. And I've been with Carrie for a number of years, and things come up with more layers and things open. It's like, well, that wasn't happening before, and now this is kind of like an wondering how your program compares to that, if you
We just answered your question.
Yeah,
It's exactly that. It's an onion. It's just pulling back the layers.
they're finding the priority. That's getting healed. So someone just asked me that too out there, and they're like, why are you doing it again? I'm like, not to lose the same 25 pounds, to lose the other 25 that I didn't, which means, and I already know, like, there's another metabolic disruptor for sure that I could heal. Why wouldn't I? My hormones are shifting as I'm aging. I still have the weight to drop. So I want to continue my journey. And this program works so efficiently. Like, why would I not? So that's why I'm choosing to do it for a second time, not to lose the same 25 pounds. And because she was like, well, how are you doing it again then? And I'm like, for that reason. But the other thing is there's also, I just had this conversation with 3 people out there. So I wanted to say this, which is that if you sign up tonight, it doesn't mean you have to start the program next week. Right? So it's very important to know that from today, you have a 6-month window to start your 3-month period. So if you're like, for us, like we are about to travel for 2 weeks, we come back 2 weeks later, we're traveling again. Then we have a stint where we're good. So we're starting end of September and through October. So Daryl paused his, he will reactivate it just before we're ready to start it. Then they will send us our kits. We will get things going. We will get ourselves ready. So if you're like, I'm good right after Labor Day, great. Start it right after Labor Day. Get yourself into the mental mindset, get your yes there, and you can do it. And today you get to take advantage of the discount, which is you already know you're going to do it. You just can't do it right now, but you can do it in a month or 2 months. Do it in 2 months and then do it with us and we can do it together, which, as they said, community just makes us stronger. I will say their community really supported me. It really helped me. And Laura is incredible too. Their coaches are amazing. Daryl worked with the other coach. Both were amazingly supportive. We were on the phone with them on and off throughout the entire program, texting like, if I'm feeling this, is this normal? Or if I need to choose this thing, like, what would you choose? And she would just give me like, here's my shopping list, or here's my this, or these are the things I did, in terms of like how you can support your own body and your this, and this is tea I drink that was delicious, which super helped me. I was psyched for like the cinnamon tea to be able to drink. So, and I didn't have to give up coffee. Like I still had to have my morning coffee, which was great, so there's like things like that it's helpful to know and to have your hand be held, and they have set it up for you to have that kind of support. So just rest assured that it is what they're saying it is, and it is what like we've experienced it to be. And, you know, from that place, it's, you know, yeah, like I was hungry. There were moments and there were days I was not hungry at all. It was so amazing. And I was like, dang, Daryl, I'm so hungry tonight. I don't really feel hungry tonight. And the next night he's like, I'm so hungry tonight. So and it's just the body like shifting, and you just ride the wave because it's 5 weeks and anyone can do anything in 5 weeks. It's just like, who cares? So I'm just gonna be hungry. I'm gonna drink some extra tea tonight because that's what it is. And go to bed. And Abby's just like, I just go to bed. Abby's like, I don't care. I just go to bed. I don't care.
Can I say, because I grappled with the cost, honestly, because all I was thinking was this amount of money for 8 weeks. But now on the other side of the program, I spent that much money for the rest of my life. Like, I just spent a week at a camp with a bunch of teens where it was pretty
Eating cabin food,
crappy, like,
lodge food.
you know, Cisco, like commercial food. And I picked as best as I could. I didn't have a car, so I couldn't go to the store. I came back 4 pounds lighter than I left. Not because I wasn't, I mean, I was eating, I was walking and doing all sorts of things, but my metabolism could handle the stress of eating this food that wasn't necessarily what I would choose.
We've traveled a lot, and that has been the case. And we've both been actually down and or the same as when we ended. That reset weight has stayed, or we're actually a little bit lower than that reset weight.
No way my body would have ever been able to do
We
that.
would literally go out to eat for a weekend, like twice, and be up 5 pounds and maybe drop 2. So
That's a good point, because you're not doing this forever.
Right.
It's 2 months
yeah,
to set remember we talked about the thermostat, we're readjusting your thermostat. Y'all are still trying to lose weight on 2s and 3s. Let's
Right.
get you over to a 7 or an 8, make that permanent, get you a metabolic reboot, and now you're working from a completely different place long term.
Yeah.
And then doing more rounds, you know, a lot of times the patterns do come together and they couple. You know, there aren't just one disruption that you'll see. So you clear the major. Sometimes there's secondary patterns, and a lot of our clients do the program once a year. In fact, we do it once a year just to detox our body from seed oil and chemicals. We're dynamic beings. We're exposed to so many things. It
Last
just makes
night,
sense to
yeah.
get your body clear every single year as a part of the metabolic journey of, yes, our longevity.
that's
flights,
what my
our
friend
metabolic
Charlene
health.
did. She like waited a year and was like, I could probably use another reset. That's when she did her other reset. And we were at a restaurant last night, and I was like, hey, can you cook this thing in butter? And they were like, yeah, we could do it in a separate pan and butter, blah, blah. I'm like, sweet, cool. And then the restaurant, or the server brought me a bowl of fries and said, separately, not on my plate, and said, these aren't made in seed oil, just soybean oil. Clearly, she doesn't know what seed oil
I
is.
don't know.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Let me say, part of our, what we do as coaches too, and in our community is we teach you how to live in wellness. We teach you the right questions to ask in restaurants. We teach you exactly
Right.
what you're gonna be running into and how to handle that to maintain, you know, there are some lines that we draw that you probably haven't drawn before, but we get to eat a lot of amazing food. So, yeah.
So are you saying I can eat butter?
Butter.
I don't want to eat any dairy, but now I can have butter.
I always say butter's good.
Butter's butter.
Butter presence is like fat, not sugar.
Butter.
I always say
Butter's better.
Yeah, she can have SCT.
that's right. I say too.
So during this 5 weeks, can you go to a restaurant if you're eating what you have to eat?
Okay, yeah, just work with the coaches so they can be able to instruct you on how to make sure that you're ordering it correctly. So that you don't have any issues.
But we're in a climate now where most restaurants, they'll definitely cater to you, especially you let them know you have an allergy to something.
Yeah, you have to say.
They're not, yeah, they're not gonna mess around with that. They'll prepare whatever you want. They're not gonna do it at McDonald's.
I personally didn't
But
trust
they've got
going to a
chef-
restaurant, but I thought I might need to when I traveled, because I traveled the second week of the program for a weekend. And and Laura was like, you know what, just talk to me as you get closer. And as I got closer, I just wasn't willing to risk going to the restaurant. I was just working too diligently and focused. I did not want that to be a cheat for me, because I didn't want it to be a cheat. Like, I wasn't up for it. So I figured out a way to prepare my own food. Like, I just made it work. And there are ways to do that too. And she just helped me sort it out. You know, like that was where we really used our coaches, was like, Daryl had to travel after the first week of being on it. I had to travel the second week. It's not awesome to do that, but it wasn't the end of the world. We literally both just made it work, you know, so.
And I'll tell you what, 5 weeks of eating real food, you're gonna save money on your groceries.
Yeah, we
And
did
you're
it.
gonna realize how a lot of times you're making food choices and it's just like, you're not even thinking, you're just grabbing something. Think about this, you're gonna get 5 weeks to eat nothing but real food. Who's ever done that? It's
Yeah.
always, yeah, so it's a powerful thing mentally, as you start really taking more agency in your journey with your own healing and the foods that you're putting into your body and what you're buying, and what's really in our grocery stores. But it starts with you, right? It had to start with us. It started here with Dr. Carey and her husband. So you guys, go all in with it. You'll lay down layers and foundations of habits that are going to be just transformation. I'm just telling you.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Taken, how much feedback do you give?
We give you feedback, so the coaches will work with you, so depending on what
It's
your
really
disruptor
specific.
is, food is very specific, so they'll tell you exactly. what
They'll say, okay.
Yeah.
When you have.
When we traveled with a scale.
Yeah, you'll know exactly. Guess where.
Yep. Back.
So I heard Carrie say you do that over 6 months. How's the news?
Yeah.
Better question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next week.
It's gonna be Turner paper and we've got your email.
Number one.
Yeah. So you'll get that assessment done, they'll get to work on that. They'll give you some pre-work to do, work with coaches, let them know, and you can be able to start on that work this week.
Yeah, because there's gonna be prep work instructions in the email that prompts the whole thing. So there's already things you'll be doing, getting prepped and ready before your kit and box even arrives at your front.
Yeah, Abby was like, do I get one of those $400? That's what she.
Yeah.
Abby was like,
Metabolism.
Abby wanted that.
Will you take note of that?
Is this presentation available anywhere else? I have a significant other. That won't buy it unless it's there.
So we recorded most of this
Okay.
and we'll be able to,
Yeah, there you go. We have resources, but I would just do this.
yeah,
Access that.
yeah, and then I or Daryl can answer questions too.
Back the hat.
So, 5 weeks, yeah, I could do almost them. Yeah, 5 weeks, what is the diet? I know it can be individualized, but can I eat single item foods now?
Yeah.
So I don't, I'm curious with it.
Yeah, then do that. I would just go back to doing that. There's instructions in the reset phase, that's the 3 weeks after, that we're gonna get you carbohydrate adapted. So there's some specific rules where you'll be eating, you're not counting any calories, you're eating tons of real food. We're pushing your metabolism to try to get you to gain weight and find what that number is. Because what we're finding is we can upregulate your metabolism where maybe you were only burning 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 calories, which is very low. Now coming out of that, you can burn over 2,000, 2,500, 3,000 calories. So the coaches will work with you to find that sweet spot. And then once you've reset everything and now you got the carb adaptation, you're fat adapted, go back to eating like we talked about, because eating healthy food is for your health. It's not for weight loss. Eat as much single ingredient food items as you want to. There's no rule other than just don't eat a bunch of fake food. Yeah. It's a great question. Yeah.
And one of the big things for me in terms of awareness was how much seed oil is in everything.
Yeah.
Even
Unbelievable.
things that are in the like organic healthy section, I mean,
Also,
it's cheap.
Daryl had to eat like so much. We both did. We were like, man, we keep dropping weight. Like we're not supposed to in this reset phase. We had to eat more.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can eat much more than this. Like it was crazy. It really did change our
Yeah.
body.
You you're gonna be detoxing from the seed oil in the retrain phase. So when you detox from seed oil, your metabolism is going to upregulate. And it's
That's
hard to get
crazy.
out of your tissue. So that's one of the reasons, one of the components why we see the results we're getting, because that is something that was introduced into our food system that was not there 100 years ago. It is there now.
It's really messed us
It's
up.
in our bodies. Yep, Jake.
So kind of what this gentleman's talking about, but I don't.
Yeah.
I like to go out to eat.
Yeah,
We do too.
That's our social.
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
So what the hell do you eat? You know, you're like, hey, let's go to this Italian joint.
They went today for lunch.
And we went today for lunch.
Yeah, we had Italian for lunch today. No, you can literally, I mean, you can go back to eating the things that you're eating, because you have to remember too, is we're resetting this thermostat, as we're getting you closer to a 10, where your body may have only been able to burn, I don't know, 1,000 to 2,000 calories a day before your body started gaining weight. You can now be able to be burning up to 4,000, 5,000 calories where you couldn't do that before. So as you're eating these foods, we would hope that after going through the program, being in the community, you have more of an awareness of, okay, this food probably isn't so great for me. I can probably stay away from that. And the great thing too, is you're going through program, you'll start tasting foods that of the real foods that taste way better. It's like literally changing the way you're tasting foods, and you're like, I don't want to eat that anymore. So like, there are even people that were like so I'm Hispanic, so like a tortilla chip, addiction, or they had to eat the bread every single time that they were in the restaurant. But that right there is a physiologic thing that's happening inside your body, where your body thinks that you need that for fuel. And when your body doesn't think it needs that for fuel anymore, you don't crave it anymore. So you don't have those cravings that you did. So yeah. So we would encourage you, eat the foods that you love to eat.
I would just say this, you're gonna eat
metabolism.
food on a good metabolism, or you're gonna eat it on a bad one.
Exactly.
I'd rather eat it on a good one.
Right.
Yeah, so you're gonna eat no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Which one do you
I
want?
love that. Yeah. Absolutely.
I think we had a question that circulated, asking about if you are on any type of peptide or semi-glutide GLP-1, can you do the program? Yes, you can.
You stay on?
Once again, that's between you and your doctor. It really has nothing to do with our program, because it wouldn't disqualify.
Right.
Yeah,
I think it
some situations would, that would not be one of them.
Yeah.
So, but maybe working with your doctor as you're healing your metabolism, obviously that wouldn't be a great long-term solution in our opinion, because obviously it's not addressing the real issue, which is what we really want to do, is let's really get in there and fix the problem. So,
In fact, and we have products to be able to that we just literally
Exactly.
launched to be
Well,
able to
right.
help
Yeah.
support.
yeah,
It's just, I'm afraid, because what I'm doing now is work.
Yeah.
It's not a long-term solution.
Oh,
I'd rather heal the
Yeah.
situation.
yeah, so those-
I'm still afraid, so.
Mhm.
Of course, no.
Training wheels.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Did you say an antidepressant means you should not do this?
it just means that we can't give you the guarantee, because antidepressants cause severe weight gain. Some people do great with them, some people don't do as well. We still can work on healing your metabolism, but we've seen people maybe with the weight loss portion not do as good.
Okay, well, healing the metabolism to me is the most important.
That won't
Yeah.
disqualify
Okay.
anybody. Yeah. Yeah,
For Carrier Gerald, is there something that you wish you would have known before you started? Now, like looking back, I wish you would have said this to me before I started. I mean,
Great.
That is a great question. And honestly, no. No, I mean, I don't think I could have done it a minute sooner. I found my yes, and when I was there, I was in. And honestly, like, they walked us through every bit of the way, and every question I had just came up, it got answered, and I moved with it, but I wasn't ready for that question to be answered till I was ready for it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any,
Yeah,
in hindsight,
what's that?
like, in hindsight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean, you figure out something, you're like, wow, if I'd known that last week, that might have been easier, but you don't know it till you know it. Like, most of the
Right, or like
things that I
you came up
wish,
great idea for like a really tasty dish. We were like, that'll work.
right.
You know, like that'll do for the next week, like.
And that's where the community comes in, like in terms of
Recipes,
recipes, because you're like,
yeah.
okay, this is what I want to eat. And I've eaten this 5 times. I need to figure out a way to make this interesting without putting oil on, it, right? You know, and
Yeah.
so.
I know you didn't ask that question to us, but as I was thinking, I was like, what would I say? And what I would say is, what I wish somebody would have told me is how much time and how time consuming the relationship that I had with food previous to doing the program. Like, I spent so much time like trying to figure out where I was gonna go out to eat, what I was gonna eat.
That's
all
really
of those,
true.
all of those different things. I'm like, I have all of this time on my hands now. What do I do with it?
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have said, hey, you need to pick up a new hobby.
My relationship with food is actually really different. And in a so much better way.
Yeah.
I did not think that that was gonna happen, and I'm so thankful. Yeah.
So, I was queen of Jello years ago, just, I had one party.
The fat-free.
Jello.
The fat-free diet.
But, so I like to make things. So the question I guess, yeah, I have is food prep, is it time consuming?
Yeah, you'll be
It's really
very
not.
simple,
It's really,
very, very simple, and don't make it complicated. Sounds like you won't. And the meals don't take long to prep and they're nutrient dense. We're getting more bioavailable nutrients into your body, which also helps with that satiety and also helping, naturally support your body's own GLP-1 system. So no, you won't have any issues. Don't make it complicated.
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Um,
Question?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how do we, if I have to talk this over with my significant other, because it's a big expense, but. How do we get this to you then, if we decide to do it after?
yeah, I'll make sure they get it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, if you need that, we'll make sure you get the discount. If you decide in the next, like, you just talk with him and
Yeah.
the next couple of days.
Yeah, the great news is, we want everybody to take action because when's the perfect time to do anything, right? The best time to do what plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. But we're not going anywhere. We have a great relationship with this clinic and Dr. Carey, and she is now a huge partner of ours, helping us help more people. So we're not going anywhere. Y'all are gonna have support. So
We'll make sure of it,
just
yeah.
breathe and
For
just
sure.
breathe.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
It's
exactly,
just
exactly. It'll be, okay. Yeah, we'll get it. Get it.
Crossing the that set point, you can change the set point of where your body is at
You
by healing the metabolism.
Yeah, I'm living proof. of- My weight set point was always about 180 to 185 pounds for me. So right now I weigh 155. And so that's 30 pounds less than what I had always been. And so I'm now in that.
Yeah, it's magical. It really is. It does make things so much more
Okay.
fun. Like we were talking about even with Jay, like when you move your thermostat over, life is better because you don't have to be perfect. You get luxuries and liberties and you don't have to count points or worry about every single morsel that goes into your mouth.
And we're
really
also
metabolic
laughing because
freedom.
we've all done those. Weight Watchers full time, like, food fuels.
So, yeah, so it's a good question. Yeah, Jay.
Someone, say, something like, what? Who, be it that.
Mm.
That's a great point.
Perfect. We started the program.
Probably smaller, so,
We started the program because he had cancer. So it wasn't, we didn't make the program to be. We made it. Program. Side effect is that you lose weight.
If you need to lose.
If you need
It's not
to.
forcing weight loss.
Yeah.
So we have people who will do it just for the metabolic benefits that aren't really worried about losing any weight. So it's not gonna force weight loss. It's just gonna create an environment where the body can heal. And, a lot of times though, a lot of times just moving and liberating seed oil and some stubborn fat from the body can go a long, long way. That'd be the biggest benefit for her, just to help detox her body. And that goes a long way. So, yeah.
Well, if you guys do once a year, you don't look like you need to drop.
No.
No.
Right, so when you're doing it, are you necessarily seeing the weight loss? It doesn't even matter that much to you anyway, you're just staying healthy. Yeah, at
Yeah.
this point, you don't need to.
And it's crazy when we do these because you still get that metabolic bump because you are a dynamic human being that's in a toxic world. So what can you do one time and then just tuck it away and go, well, good now. I brushed my teeth last week. Everything's fine. I went to the gym once. Guess we're all good now. You invest time, energy, and money into the things that matter, and there is no greater asset than your health. So
Okay.
we've developed a program really for a time just like we are in this world where we're in a toxic world. And it's so important to take ownership there of that and do things to help get the body into a healthy place. So, yeah,
So-
and you can eat, it's like crazy dude, because what I've been playing around with is how many calories can I eat when I really clean my body of seed oil? And it's insane what the body is capable of and how much fat burning potential all of us have. So you just gotta get rid of the interference. So.
So we have a relationship with you, those of us that are
Yeah.
clients. Well, it's like you're a practitioner, but you're my, I wanna be able to like chit chat with you or somebody, like, what do you want people to do? He's like, I don't feel like I wanna tune into this, I have to. But we need to have a foundation, so.
Right.
I don't know, like, it's too many, for me, it's just too much of a commitment without. Things that you want, as a practice, do you want people to email you, or need to email?
I mean, we can
you?
talk in our next session.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't really, because like I even just talked to someone, I was gonna bring this up. I was gonna talk, I was just talking to somebody about, they have type 1 diabetes,
Mhm.
and we had kind of previously talked that it's not a reason not to do it.
Yeah.
They would just alter it slightly, potentially, and eventually, you know, what they've seen is it just lessens his need. It'll lessen his need for as much insulin. Right, so it'll only get you healthier. And at the end of the day, because someone just walked up to me and said, I need you to muscle test it for me. And I was like, I'm literally not going to, because you have to find your yes. Right, so I wouldn't bring this if I didn't think everyone pretty much needed it. I really think all of you will benefit from it. Everyone will get healthier from it. When you feel your yes, that's it. And there's really nothing else to it. Well, and when you choose to, then we work with you accordingly. So I won't be pushing supplements. Probably we might alter those supplements, alter you off of some of those supplements while you're doing the program for 5 weeks, which it's nice to have a break, if I'm going to be honest, and let your body rest and regenerate and shift. And then we see what you still need after, because things heal. And then during that though, where I think will really come into play is the emotional work, because it does bring stuff up, and we have shtick, and you know, in terms of why we carry our weight and why we eat what we eat and why we emotionally eat. And I got triggered with my mother's illness and came home and I was like, Daryl, I'm going to emotionally eat right now. Out like, but it like my choice was different. And I chose something different, but I still for sure was not hungry. And I was like, a bit, and I literally was like, I just emotionally ate. I feel great about it. I consciously chose it. And I didn't gain weight from it or whatever. It was different, but yeah, I was like, I just know myself, and I was like upset. And at the same time, I also then came in, or I called Naomi and I was like, I need a session. Like, I'm super charged about what's happening. My mom has Alzheimer's to the end. It's horrific to watch. And she's my best friend. So I put my arm up a lot on that, because it is a grieving roller coaster. It's horrific. I wish it on nobody. But anyway, bottom line is too emotionally, and I consciously chose it. So there it is. So like it literally does actually give you permission on some level, once you've done the program, to have your splurge moments, and you don't have to like suffer and be shameful about it. I was like, so like, I did it. And okay. And like, actually, that's not obviously the healthiest choice. I need some support, but I was so much more aware of it. And one thing that I want to share is that in the first week of the program, what I told Daryl is, what I'm feeling is this amazing amount of melancholy and depression that's playing in the background for me. And then I thought, is that all mine? And like 80% of it wasn't. And I think I was eating to numb, because I carry so much. Sorry. And some of it was mine that I really needed to look at. It's just the noise was too big for me to feel and see it. And it wasn't like I was like crazy overeating though. I mean, I really was eating like healthfully, just my portions were a little big. Like we would definitely night eat sometimes and got into some bad habits and patterns. But overall, we really like, I do practice what I preach, and still it didn't matter. The weight just kept coming on, and that felt so shameful and yucky. So anyway, my point is that there's like things you begin to notice when you clear the noise, when you do just eat these really simple, whole food meals. It's really quite an extraordinary program. I'm telling you, there's a reason I brought it here, and I'm excited for the seed to get planted. Like if you don't have your yes tonight, that's okay. But the seed is planted. And when it was planted for me, little did I know it was going to change my life. Like it did. I on some level wish I had chosen it sooner, but like you can only choose it as soon as you're ready. And that's it. I mean, I really want you to be able to move with this and find your yes and find the health that lives within you, because we all have the potential for it. And that's what I want you to have. I want everybody to be in their thriving health, So truly that is why we're here tonight. Okay. So let's leave it on that note. If there's some lingering, whatever, but we need to wrap up. We've got to get out of here actually in the next like 3 or 4 minutes. So thank you all. And for those of you on Zoom, email us your forms if you want. If you have more questions, please let us know. And, we'll make sure you get what you need in order to sign up if that's something that you'd like to do. I'm gonna stop the recording. Or